You are tuned in to episode 65 of the Goodfellas podcast. G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. I got my main man, my main partner, Big Bro here. Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt, aka Blunt Bayless, aka Mr. 1K. He's in the building. What's going on, good brother?
Man, snakes and apes in these boxing streets, boy. God bless.
Absolutely.
Let's get it.
Hey man, we got so much to talk about today. And it's funny, before we even get started, for the people that don't know, Vlog and I talk all the time off camera, and we always end each podcast and be like, we don't know what we're gonna talk about tomorrow, but they always give us something to talk about. Always give us something to talk about. 24 hours, man. So, this show is supposed to be about the Dillian Whyte not showing up to the press conference, but it's so much more we got to get into. We got to get into um, Josh Taylor and Catterall. We got to get into that. I know we got into that a little bit on Saturday because Vlog and Shane was live for that. Chris Colbert, man. When I say the stock done plummeted, man. The stock done plummeted big time, man. So we definitely gotta get into that, and then we gonna definitely get into this whole Dillian Whyte Tyson Fury issue. But let's kick it with Chris Colbert first, man. Like he took a unanimous decision loss to Hector Garcia, late replacement. And you know, the late replacements, they can go either way. They could look really, really shitty, or they can pull something off like this. And Chris Colbert, I'm gonna hold my thoughts, brother. You kick it off, bro.
I mean, you know, we patting at that line over here on this podcast, Silk Sheets, man, and he got in up here. You know, he got in the set, and he seemed like he got comfortable because the word on the street is he don't look at tape and he don't really, you know, kind of preview his upcoming opponent, so to speak. So I ain't saying you supposed to, you know, delve into his background and watch every fight he's ever had, but you might want to take a peek and see how he stands, see what his movement like, you know, try to read what his power shot is. Like, you try to find a little something about your opponent. You understand what I'm saying? So again, if you sleep in them silk sheets, it's hard to do your homework. You feel what I'm saying? So I mean, you know, that's just my particular take on the cat. I think a loss like this actually does him well. Because if he really, you know, not a questionable mental guy like a Ryan Garcia, then, you know, he really want that rematch that he asked for. I don't think he deserves it. I think, you know what I mean, that ship has sailed. Personally, like, for me, if you want to talk rematch, let's talk that 115 champion from the Philippines, the boy Jarwin. He lost his fight, but that was a good fight. Now, to me, that's more of a rematch sort of fight. Big shout out to Felix. Is it Hernandez? What's that cat name again?
Yeah.
His name slipped my tongue right now. I don't know who it. I watched the whole fight. I didn't lie. It was a good fight though. I mean, but like I said, if you want to talk about styles and how the fight really panned out, his fight was one-sided. His power wasn't a factor. Old boy seemed real big and just too much for him. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't switch and do something different because he has the ability to switch. So why didn't he go orthodox? Or switch to southpaw? Why didn't he do something to give himself an opportunity offensively? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. So I don't think he did himself any justice as far as marquee situation, but for sure he still could be a factor at featherweight. You know what I mean? There's international opponents he could probably look at to kind of get, you know, build back up his name and his repertoire, so to speak. So I don't think
talking about?
Talking about the Jarwin fight.
And then talking about, I was adding Colbert in there too. I used Jarwin, that fight, as an example of a rematch compared to what we saw with Colbert and Garcia.
Before we continue, let me properly introduce VP Shane is in the building. What is going on, good brother?
Dude, man, what's up?
Hey man, we
man. We professionals.
No, that's my fault. I'm the only unprofessional one here. So
This dude told me. This dude told me literally, didn't even give me a warning or nothing.
I just sent him a message like, "Yo, we going live, man. Jump in whenever you're ready." Like, whenever I get on before 6 my time, I got to take advantage. So, yeah, Chris Colbert. We talking about Chris Colbert, and basically, we touched on it, briefly, but just, I mean, Shane, I don't know how big of a Chris Colbert fan you was prior to Saturday, but like, what was your thoughts on the fight and just on him, just period?
I mean, I've always thought Chris Colbert was a skillful fighter. He's always had skills, and he's someone who spoke very highly of himself, and just down to the reputation of fighters out of America. You gotta, when someone talks that highly of themselves, and nobody really questions his skills, so naturally you just take it at face value. But after seeing him fight a few times, I've always thought that he was a skilled fighter, a little bit more dynamic than a Tevin Farmer, but I always thought that his shortcomings will come probably in when it came down to moving up weight classes. I just didn't. I felt like I didn't think, I wasn't convinced by his power or his overall offense. I know I said he's more dynamic than Tevin Farmer, but not drastically. Not by a large amount. Yeah, and I thought he'd be a good fighter, and he would make some good fights. But in terms of like being an elite pound for pound, I didn't look at him and think that. But I thought maybe you match him up with someone like a Tank. Good fight. Obviously I would pick Tank to win, but I didn't think that he would get exposed so quick. I didn't think that he would get exposed so early in his career, because after a fight like that, everybody who watched that fight pretty much can just take the blueprint, rinse and recycle.
Yeah. Well said for sure. Like, I'm a fan of Chris Colbert, man. Like he got skills, and go ahead, keep going, Shane. I'll be right back.
I wasn't even going. It was Blunt going. It was you and Blunt going. It's cool. It's cool. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll be right back.
But yeah, go ahead, Blunt.
I mean, I said my one too. I thought the boy was in the silk sheets, as we say over here, and he got comfortable.
I can't see that though, bro. I can't see that.
I mean, obviously his apparel stepped up. You understand what I'm talking about? And you see, if you've seen him fight on PBC, you've seen his flashiness as far as attire, but the attitude seemed to have stepped up. So what's being more added at the house? You know what I mean? Did you go from queen size bed to the king size? Then you went from satin sheets to the silk sheets, took longer naps. You understand what I'm talking about? So I thought he just got comfortable in the groove that he was in.
But this dude hasn't even won a world title yet. So the fact that he's already in those silk sheets, it's a bit alarming.
No, well, when you show them something in a couple fights in a row, they might have advanced you a little bit of something, and you don't went ahead and flossed out. Next thing I know, you popping up, shining like I mean, the stars in the sky, midnight. You feel me?
I saw that. I saw that. I saw it on his Instagram. Like buying new jewelry and stuff. But I tend to not read into. Yeah, I tend to not read into that a lot when it comes to Black American fighters, because once any Black American fighter gets money, that's what they're gonna do. I didn't think it was gonna affect him in the ring, though.
The thing is crazy. So
yeah, the thing that's crazy.
I don't think it did, though. I don't think it did.
I think it was just really just a lesson learned, not only from watching him take the worst type of loss you could possibly take. When I say it was absolutely nothing positive to take from it, it was absolutely nothing positive to take from it.
He's been exposed, bro. He's been exposed, bro. There's no more. Like
this is.
That's where I disagree with both of y'all. I don't think he was exposed as long term because his exposure was not being a banger. So that first told us he was beatable. You understand what I'm saying? It was a thing whether could somebody catch him who had the right style. Obviously, a southpaw that could punch is the thing that he would have a problem with.
But this is the thing, bro, and this is why I say he has been, because the style in which he was beaten can easily be replicated. It wasn't too much about, I get the power and the size and stuff, but what it was when you get that heart check and you fail that heart check, it's worse than when you fail the chin check. Because once you fail that heart check, anybody and everybody knows, once I stick it on you again, you're going to crumble. Naturally, bro, everybody reverts back to tight. You revert back to tight, bro. And there's one thing losing. But when you're in a situation where you've gone into survival mode and you've almost admitted defeat, bro, it's worse than AJ. In my opinion, he's done even worse than AJ. And I feel like AJ's been exposed. And I feel like he's been exposed, bro, because if I'm fighting Colbert, in my mind, I'm thinking, bro, all I need to do is make it a rough, rugged, intense fight, and he's going to crumble.
But other fighters have done that. And Nate crumbled in the past 2 fights. He's had that were actually trying to bang with him. He knocked the dude out coming off the ropes.
No, but I get that, but there's a certain level of caliber when it comes to opponents. He was fighting someone who's actually of a high caliber. You put him in there with a Shakur, you put him in there with a Valdez.
Let's be honest, bro. What we had said that if we didn't see that guy actually perform.
He proved it though. That's my point, bro.
We talking hindsight, but I'm saying before the fact, we want to be honest with everybody that tapped in with us. We would have looked at dude like he should have been beatable.
But the problem is though, bro, this shouldn't have been Colbert's level. Colbert shouldn't be getting checked at this level. Colbert should have been getting checked at Shakur. The question with Colbert was, how does he perform when he's at the elite level? Now I know how he performs when he's at the elite level. He's going to crumble, bro. Because if you're crumbling over meek opponents like we just saw on Saturday, bro, when you go in there with a Shakur, when you go in there with a tank, when you go in there with a killer.
Hold on. Did you just call this young rising interim star Meek? I don't think he showed us Meek, bro. I think he showed great boxing.
He's limited. He's a limited fight. And Meek,
we don't know that yet about him, about Hector Garcia, because I'm gonna say this: we didn't see him be exposed offensively to say he's limited. We don't know what his defense is like.
The definition or the excellent, as the saying goes, meek shall inherit the earth. So meek doesn't always necessarily mean bad. It just means lacking shine or not exposed. To me, this dude is permanently going to be on the back burner. Colbert is always going to be on the back burner from this point onwards, because no matter what, even if he has a step-up fight, I know what he's going to do. And even if I don't know what he's going to do, when he does step up and go into fights against higher level opposition, bro, they are automatically going to have a moral advantage over this dude, knowing the fact that this guy has quit in him. This dude said no mass. When you say no mass, bro, I can't respect that.
I mean, I get your take. It'd be harsh. I give him bounce back opportunity. That's all I'm gonna say.
This situation is the reason why I be asking the questions about fighters. I make every fighter answer the same questions on the come up. This is exactly why. Because it's just there's a lot of guys that got skill and have skill set and things like that. The reason why I say this is the worst type of loss to take, because when your physical and mental gets questioned after a loss, like, you don't see a lot of guys bounce back from that. A physical loss, you had a bad night, the jab wasn't working, whatever the case may be, that's something different. But
Or you could just have the game plan wrong. That can happen.
Game plan wrong, even the Tiafimo situation, like, you got stuff going on outside of the ring. And I didn't really embrace that initially, but, like, obviously that, that can affect the fighter or whatever. In Chris Colbert's situation, the reason why it was so bad is because he felt that power early. He felt that power early, and he mentally checked out early in that fight. And I've watched Chris Colbert live. I've watched him on TV. I've watched him in camp. I actually know a lot more about Chris Colbert than a lot of people. My problem with that is how early he checked out. He checked out. He checked out within the first 4 rounds. He was
But
mentally checked out.
what does that tell you, though?
That tells me that tells me that when guys got different type power. And I don't know, this Hector Garcia guy has, different type power. I'm assuming he has some real natural power, because when you're a last minute replacement, you're not on the juices on the sidelines.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got to find his juices when you getting ready to come into a fight, especially a person at his level. You know what I'm saying? He probably can't even afford the juices. You know what I mean? So Chris Colbert felt that power early in the fight, and he had a decision to make. Either I'm gonna figure this dude out, and I'm still gonna get mine, or I'm gonna check out. And he decided to check out
no, I feel like there's something before that, bro. I feel like there's something before that, because
before
to
you mean
me,
before the fight.
not not before you even reach that point, bro. Because certain fighters don't have an option. That's my point. Certain fighters don't have an option. In my opinion, the fact that you resorted to quitting so early means you had already accepted the narrative beforehand that there's a chance you might lose. Like, you accepted defeat, bro. There's certain fighters you put them in the ring, they have a by any means necessary mentality. Tyson Fury being an example. There's certain fighters that have that by any means necessary. I'm gonna win by any means.
Yeah,
And Colbert don't have that.
and
How can you quit so easy? That's
he's
the
never
thing that
been
I
put in
want to
that.
know.
Yeah, he's never been put in that position, and that's why I will praise a guy that battles some type of adversity before I put a guy on a pedestal that ain't never been through nothing. And this is the reason why. And in some cases, it's not like that. In some cases, you know what I mean. You on mute, better.
I'm not going to take these shots at Emmanuel Tagu. I just heard one. I'm gonna let you get away with that one because we ain't seen you in a couple days.
Who took a shot at Tagu? What I say? I said something towards Tagu.
No, it just sound like
You just wanted to add Tagu name in the conversation,
no,
bro.
it just sound like a little curveball, you know.
Nah, it's a curveball. No, I'm gonna tell you where. It's not a curveball towards anyone. So you take it's I mean, classic topics that we've had on the show, like Broner got criticized for the Maidana laws, but Broner actually showed me some dog in that fight. He showed me some dog in that fight. I was like, he's not the best fighter in the world, but he showed me some dog. Like, he gonna get up off the canvas. He's gonna try to continue to fight. I mean, Ryan Garcia's name get killed in these streets. You know what I'm saying? He get killed in these streets, and he got knocked down by a light puncher. He still had to go through the process of getting up and going through the process of winning the fight. He didn't take the Chris Colbert approach. So that's still the questions that I'm still gonna ask these fighters. But Chris Colbert, he's in a really bad spot, because I can see if this was the original opponent and this happened, this was the replacement and this happened, and you mentally checked out after the 7th round. I mean, he didn't attempt to try to land anything. And the thing that I guess the question I want to ask you guys is, his loss has really been celebrated in the States because he took a shot at Wilder at one point. Like, me personally, I don't like that. you know, I don't like that, me personally, but y'all got any take on that?
I mean, people are gonna do what they're gonna do because they're gonna support a fighter. Do I care? I don't personally. It's part and parcel of the sport, so I tend to not have emotional connections to anyone when they lose or when they win. I don't really care. Did I celebrate Colbert's loss personally? No, because it don't
Right,
benefit me.
right,
And would I have celebrated if Colbert won? Oh no, because it doesn't benefit me either way. You know.
right.
But in terms of what other people do, I mean, people are gonna have their favorites. That's just boxing at the end of the day.
I mean, he was getting clowned on social media, man, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, well, this is what you get for taking shots at Wilder, this, that, and the third."
That's
I,
stupid. That's
Now,
stupid.
it is dumb.
now,
That's
hold on. Let me
stupid.
say this: we don't know where the karma's coming from, but in his defense, it seemed a little humbling right at the end.
Absolutely,
He may have
absolutely.
caught a little bit of enlightenment through the humbling process. That's
He
all.
got
I mean,
humble.
I'm trying to help him.
I'm gonna say something, and a lot of Wilder fans ain't gonna like this. But to me, for one, I don't like what Colbert done when it came to Wilder because for one, he disrespected Wilder when he was at his lowest. You know, you kicked a man when he was down. You didn't you weren't saying none of this stuff earlier in his career. And you and Wilder have nothing to do with each other. So I don't see why you even brought his name up. But I'm gonna say this to Wilder fans on a whole, bro. You guys gotta understand the territory you're in. To me, and I'm just keeping it 100, a lot of Wilder fans are very emotionally unstable characters. You gotta understand this is boxing. There is no line, there is no diplomatic approach, there's no diplomacy. That's the word I was looking for. There's no courtesy that a fan base or a fighter should have towards a fellow fighter. At the end of the day, if a fighter wants to dish it, they're gonna have to receive it. And at the end of the day, when it comes to Wilder, Wilder lost. Unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, he lost. Most Wilder fans had to deal with that loss, but to then try sow this Wilder loss into other agendas is just ignorance. Because Wilder's career is Wilder's career, Colbert's career is Colbert's career. My question is this, bro. If Colbert won a world title, would people look at it as a reflection of Wilder? So then why is Colbert's loss a reflection on Wilder? You see my point, bro?
They was clowning. They was
There's
clowning.
no affiliation. There's no tie.
It's just their way to title karma, bro. Those people, those
But
particular individuals.
If there's a karma, where's Fury's karma? Where's Fury's karma?
Get it. He get ready to get it.
You see my point, bro? Like this is my thing with Wilder fans. Like you gotta understand the territory that you're in.
Help those people that I wouldn't say condemning, but you're disagreeing with currently.
Bro, at the end of the day, we're boxing fans, bro. We are boxing fans. We know that this isn't a territory for diplomacy, bro. Since when has fan bases been cordial to each other? This is boxing. You know, the aim of the sport is to knock your opponent out. Why are we coming with sensitivity right now? If a dude calls out your fighter, it's cool.
It is a gentleman's sport. That's
bro. I don't believe that. There's nothing gentleman about boxing, bro. Nothing. The key word in that term you just used is gentle. Boxing ain't gentle, bro. Boxing is gangster.
No, but your approach to it, the way
Wilder's approach to it gentle. Wilder knock dudes out mean. Wilder ain't gentle.
Yeah, I said your approach to it. I didn't say your activity during it. It just the roundabout, the surroundings of the sport is supposed to have a sense of, you know what I mean? We can all come in and just kind of cheer and
you know my theory, bro. You don't know my theory. A lot of these Wilder fans can't let it go, and whenever Wilder can survive, whenever they can bring Wilder's name back up, because I even heard some people bring up Wilder right now when it's got to do with Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte. Like, bro, Wilder isn't fighting right now, and you have to be able to move on because this is boxing. And
Wilder,
Colbert was another way to bring up Wilder's name again.
yeah, Wilder has a Wilder has a cult following. His following,
Bro, it is
really
crazy.
His following is
You got
insane.
some
I mean, that's credit to him.
Christian
Credit to
Wilder
him, though. Credit to him. But that,
Literally,
yeah,
like,
any way they can bring up Wilder name, they gonna bring.
Wilder's
I just thought it was
almost like
crazy.
a religion, bro. It's almost like a religion.
Yeah, I like because Colbert's not a big name, so I was surprised that it was so many people that was coming at him. And I guess the angle I'm going with it before I get in these comments is Shakur made the statements that he made. He was within his right because
Of course.
Chris Colbert was talking directly towards
They're the
him,
same
and that's
weight
a
class.
fight, and it's a fight that can happen. The Wilder
It can
situation
happen now.
it ain't gonna happen now.
Shit, they might send him across the street.
Bro,
Quick little
listen,
bag
he
of
has no he has no stock. None. Like, I mean, he gonna have to go back on showbox type cards, get his stock back up.
Jeff brought up a good point, which was, I don't know if Jeff said it or YSM said it. He pissed off the only fan base that was going to support him, and that's the black fight.
That was it. Yeah, actually, YSM said that. I can't even take credit for that. Yeah, YSM said that. And it's a good point.
He might need to go on a European tour, bro. He might need to go.
He might need to go on
I
a
just
European
said
tour.
that. I said that. That's still an opportunity.
You said Shakur.
No, I didn't. I said when me and you were talking before he got in here.
Oh, okay.
That's because y'all don't listen to me. That's like y'all do. Y'all old heads in y'all household. Y'all don't listen to us. Hard headed.
Well, let me take my hard head in the comment section real quick, man. Hoodie Man Team 34. Big shout out to you. He said, "What's up, fellas?" Said Colbert lost his heart. Yeah, is it the same pawn shop as AJ's joint, man? Retail. Hoodie Man, he said he folded when he felt the power. I mean, I stick with my NY dudes, but I think he's done. He's been exposed. I hope not, but time will tell. It's easier for a guy. Like, I would have rather Colbert got knocked out early.
I mean, YSM brought up another point of dudes from the New York. They tend to check out emotionally and mentally sometimes. You know, they tend to quit. You know, you look at when what's his name as well? The other dude who threw the belt in the bin, Riddick Bolt. He threw the belt in the bin and checked out emotionally with Lennox Lewis. So
take
Oliver McCall.
Well, he Philly, but yeah.
What about what's his name? Man, the next dude from New York, Gerald Miller. I mean, he done the biggest check out.
Yeah, Gerald Miller checked out.
He checked out the pharmacy, bro. Literally.
Yeah. Yo, he had a whole shopping cart coming out the pharmacy.
Literally, bro.
All type of unlabeled. All types of unlabeled bottles. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but nah, that is something that YSM said.
Saying that you got people like Joe Smith Jr. who ain't checking out. Shout out
Joe
to
Smith ain't checking out. Yeah, big shout out to Joe Smith. Boxing Learner in the building. Big shout out to you, bro. He said Chris Colbert made a business decision. And Boxing Learner, think about it.
Business decision.
He made a business decision, but usually guys don't make it. They make a business decision late. He made his early.
Though it could have worked if he continued winning, because people could have paid to see him lose by playing the villain. But
no, he was trying to play the villain. He was trying to play the villain.
But he lost. He lost.
But
when you're
trying to play the villain, you have to win. You have to win.
Lose.
You can't lose.
You can't have a controversial fight. You can't lose.
Yeah, agreed. What you guys think about the Josh Taylor decision? Trash. I went back and watched it. I don't even care. Like I gave Josh Taylor 4 rounds.
I don't care about that fight. Like I literally have zero care about that.
I gave it because the thing is, he gonna go up anyway. Because Catterall not gonna get the rematch.
The reason why I don't care about it is because all of the backlash I'm hearing about it, and you fans are partly to blame as well. Your fans are partly to blame. Where was this when Felix Cash had a robbery in the UK, or John Ryder just robbed Danny Jacob? Do you see my point? It's like because he's not. I keep reiterating this point, but because these dudes aren't from the UK, they don't get any shine. But as soon as it happens to the UK fighter, everybody wants to talk about it. The truth is, I don't care. The boxing judges have been bad. but people only care about it when it's their fight,
Yeah,
and that's just the facts.
every card, every bad
Nobody was
scorecard
talking
need
about
to
that
be.
same dude who fought Felix Cash. No one's talking about it to this day, and that was a bigger robbery than Saturday's one.
And like I said, even
It was equivalent on stage. I'll give you that, but I wouldn't say it's a bigger robbery because undisputed on what the boy Jack Cat said, man. That's a moment I can't never get back.
I
Even if
get
he
what
was
you're
to go
saying, but it
win
was a
the titles
wider
again,
decision, though. You could make an argument Taylor won, not a strong one, but I can't make an argument Cash won because Cash got knocked down twice and got a point deducted. So
in a
yeah,
10-round
but
fight,
in a
in a
10
I mean,
round
10-round
fight,
fight.
I
historically
can't
though,
make an argument for Cash. I
yeah,
can
but
make an argument for Taylor.
historically for you know what I mean, for the view of it in the long term, obviously undisputed going
Of
the
course.
wrong way in front of the whole world. Like it's being broadcast on this side and y'all side. So like damn bro, we all saw that. We saw the boy hit the canvas. We saw the boy just not be on point as if he was, you know, had something in his water. He had his water spiked or something, bro. He was off, bro. Like I went back and watched the fight. Remember, I told you I was like kind of off on you, so we wasn't like linked up watching the fight. So it was hard for me to really score it. So I had to go back, watch it again. I'm like, man, that boy lost that fight by at least 4 rounds.
Apparently, Robert Smith they're looking at it and investigating the decision.
Well, I mean, like I said, I like forget the stakes of the fight. I ain't give him 4. I was nice giving him 4 rounds. He won 3 clear rounds and 1 gift round for me. Like, and I even went back and watched. Yeah, I even went back and watched it, and I'm like, damn, did I give Jack any sympathy rounds? Did I give him rounds because I just thought he did better than I thought he was going to do? And I went back and I'm like, no, like he legit won the
I
majority
feel
of those
sorry for
rounds.
Catterall, but on a wider scale, I don't care. I have zero care.
Well, the thing is, Catterall, if I guarantee you to clean this up, they're gonna try to get him a title shot. They're gonna try to get him a title shot.
Let's keep it solid. If these like we just had a decision made by these boxing entities to take a certain stance.
I love that video, by the way. That was an amazing video.
Yeah, I got a backup banging ass article I just pinned. I'm like gotta put the final.
That is an amazing and just I personally want to lay the foundation for this video because I feel like if Blunt does it, people aren't going to pay any attention because it's out of the horse's mouth. I want to say it from an outsider watching that video, I thought it was fantastic because I see a lot of people, and even up to this day, people are talking about the Ukraine and Russia situation, how it affects boxing. Personally, this is no offense, but it's an internal affair. I see people ridiculing Alexander Povetkin for supporting his country when it's his country. He's Russian, so he's going to support his country. I understand Usyk is doing what he's doing to support his country. Us as boxing people need to draw the line when it comes to politics and real life. And if you're going to play that role, as Blunt said, if you're going to play the role of being a moral high ground and play the political role, then let's see you do it all the time. Not just when it's public, you know, do it all the time. Do it for all forms of injustice in any society, which they haven't. So therefore, you need to stay out of this. You need to stay out of it. And I agree with you, Blunt. I thought that's a fantastic article. And I thought you went a little bit light on the not article video. I thought you went light on it as well. I thought you were going to go real off, but I understand it's a sensitive situation, so I understand.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I still try to keep everything copacetic, but I'm trying to hit you with this overhand right, knock your teeth out to get you to understand this is raw feelings and raw emotions because I'm a paying boxing fan, and I've been somebody that's been supporting boxing my whole life. I put my foot in it back in the day, so I always had a love for the sport, but when you do things like this and you're just pandering, bro, it's a terrible move. Because what I'm telling you, man, just read the article. It's coming out. I got some more things to tap in on the upcoming article. It should be on G5JeffTV.com.
Where at again? Where?
G5JeffTV.com.
That's what I thought. Yeah. All right. Yeah, for sure. We looking forward
Why did
to it.
you? Why?
That's a drop. That's called a drop. That was a
Fair enough.
drop right there.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm
But before
saying?
we
Big
even
shout
go to
out
the
to.
comments, before we go
Go
to
ahead.
the comments,
Mhm.
anyone, I this is another thing. I don't even want to talk about politics, but I don't want to see people disrespect Povetkin neither, because Povetkin's in favor of Russia, but he's Russian. I see people saying Povetkin was wrong for doing what he's doing and standing behind Putin. I'm like, what do you expect him to do? He's Russian.
Yeah,
He's thinking about his best interest.
but yeah, he made a business decision. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I don't know enough about it, just all of the details. And I try not to criticize people, and I try not to really get into things that I really don't have the info on. So is it unfortunate? Absolutely is unfortunate. But I mean, we've been going to war since the beginning of the time. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's gonna support who they represent. Like, that's just what it is at the end of the day. So
To a certain degree, the foundations of boxing is also been around territory. You know, it's been around what territory you're from, and you represent the territory you're from. And to a certain
absolutely,
degree, we still get that. Just like
yeah,
we got it on the weekend with Jack Catterall and Josh Taylor. For you guys in America, you guys won't understand how strong that rivalry is. But between the England and Scotland, that rivalry is like that's
yeah.
stronger than
It's
Mexico and United States, bro. It's as strong as anything.
yeah, or just Mexican and Puerto Rican fighters. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So it's a crazy situation. Boxing learners say Wilder fangirls. Yeah, they really got. I mean, they really was going in on Chris Colbert. Um, And the thing was that the thing that kind of alarmed me with that is they went in on Chris Colbert. They didn't break down anything technically about the fight. It was just like, yo, you went against Wilder, so now we shitting on you. And I was just like, we still got to talk boxing here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Said Jack won a horrible fight.
yeah, he won.
Um, yeah, Hoodie Man, think Josh lost as well. I watched it twice. T Finney in the building. Big shout out to you, bro. You said all the bouts on the Showtime this past weekend was good. I think Russell stoppage of Postal was a little premature. And as far as Colbert, I'm not too surprised. I was never sold on him. Um, I was I was sold on him in terms of him being a good fighter, skill set, all that. I was sold on that. You couldn't tell me Chris Colbert wasn't a good fighter. But he never been through nothing in the ring. And it ain't gotta be nothing crazy. It could have been a cut or like a little small cut or just something. Like, you know what I'm saying? He might be in a tight fight going in late. What you gonna do late?
Or
You know what I'm
travel to
saying?
a away fans' hometown or something.
Yeah. Martha Rodriguez said, "Hey boo, hey, what's up, boo? What's going on with you?"
Yeah, I see
Um,
that. I see she's doing some. She's doing some like she's a seasoned visitor, bro. I don't know. She
yeah.
must be a substitute lover for you, bro. I don't know.
Hey man, we bring we bring the ladies out. The
Let's
young
talk
ones.
about what we. Let's talk
Yeah,
about the
we
Fury and
let's
Dylan
get
White.
let's get into it, man. Dillian
Round
White.
of applause for Dylan White. Round of
Yeah,
applause for
I'm
Dylan
actually
White,
working
man.
on a. I'm actually working on a. I'm actually working on a soundboard for the podcast, so I can do some sound drops and things like that. So that'll be pretty cool. I'm at
Round of
that.
applause for Dylan White.
Yeah, big round of applause for Dillian White because he is actually promoting the fight very well without saying a word. Dillian White, for the people that don't know, Dillian White did not show up to the press conference for the Tyson
Like we
Fury.
predicted. Like we
Right.
predicted.
We said that a while ago. Frank Warren looked surprised. Tyson Fury looked surprised. And they shouldn't be surprised because if you've been watching this damn show, you would have known that. You know what I'm saying? So that was something we called a while ago. So it's a lot of and vlog. I actually want to start with you first. There's a lot of people that agree with what Dillian White is doing, and there's a lot of people that disagree with what he's doing. Vlog, your personal opinion on this. Do you agree or disagree with what Dillian
I,
White is doing?
I actually dropped a video part of my breaking news that I be trying to do with boxing from time to time. So y'all tap into the channel, take a peek at that. But I'll expand a little bit on what I did say. I agree with it, but I also understood what Conrad replied to me and said, based on history, buildups like this, such as what we saw with Fury and Wilder, these things become part of the historical lore for these type of fights. So I get that understanding, but I'm also looking at it from the side of what Dillian had to go through to get to this point. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, well, I've done all the pre-work, quote unquote. If you want to look at it and say begging, he's done all of that fighting and continuing the in the ring work also. So it wasn't like he waited on a judge's decision to get this opportunity. He continued to work inside the ring. So I think in that way he's done his part. And then he's going up against a loudmouth. It's kind of almost a no-win situation.
I want to say this to Conrad, and I hope Conrad's listening. You say these fights go down in history, and the promotion before the fight goes down in history. I think Dillian Whyte has cemented that this promotion goes down in history. He has literally made sure it's gone down in history, because no matter what happens from this point onwards, this promotion will go down in history, because it's the first time I've ever seen a dude not show up to a press conference of his own fight, and he's asked for them to pay him to use his picture to promote the fight for a poster. I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen a dude go into a world title fight and not say a word about the fight. I've never seen it. So he's already made sure it's gone down in history just by that alone. But I know Jeff's gonna go to this in a second, so I'm not gonna steal Jeff's thunder. But it's already gone down in history. Regardless, draw a line in the sand. Mark this date, the day when someone didn't turn up to a what's it called? A press conference.
It's crazy because I talked to Shane about this earlier, but Vlog, you know the thing that's crazy about it, like going into it, it went from, all right, Dillian Whyte's not going to promote the fight because he only got 20%, and you know, people looking at it like, oh, well, he got $8 million, like it's his biggest payday, like why is he complaining? You know what I'm saying? And I compared it to this with Shane earlier, Vlog. I said, Vlog, if me and you do a bank robbery and we get $42 million and you only give me 8, like we fighting. You wanted to pull out one of them chopsticks and hit me with it. Like you're not walking away with like 80% of $42 million that we done stole. Like hell no. Like we not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like hell no. So people looking at it like, oh, well, he got $8 million. I'm like, yo, like a robbery's a robbery. Like a robbery's a robbery. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you are what you negotiate, you know, whatever you feel like you deserve, you go for it. 20% is just, you know.
Kangaroo Jack, we're gonna get to you in a second. Continue, Jeff.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like 20%, like that's low. Like that's low. Like the only reason he got 8 mil is because they bid it so much. You know what I'm saying? So what I was saying earlier was Dillian Whyte, he's guaranteed a sellout because this fight is getting talked about in the States. And if this was a normal situation where it's just a regular heavyweight fight,
and he was turning up to the press conferences and all of that,
we wouldn't be talking about it like that. We'll be talking about it, but not like that.
We will be.
But mainstream is actually talking about it.
Mainstream
is actually talking about it in the States, and that's how I'm gauging it right now. That's how I'm gauging it. You know, go ahead.
Jeff brought something up, and I'm gonna steal his thunder because
go ahead.
Bring up himself. Jeff brought something up, and I feel like he's changed the way purse bids will be for the rest of boxing. If I'm going into a purse bid, especially if I'm the A side, if I'm the one who's the draw, I'm saying you better pay me more money, or I ain't turning up to the press conference, and you sell that yourself, because we're successfully seeing someone get away with that. We know how it is when someone's written a blueprint. This dude is getting paid $8 million to do nothing other than show up and fight, and he might get $4 million.
I see it almost a little different. I think we're gonna really find out about Fury fans, especially on his side of the world. We kind of seen them show up here just based on his ethnicity, so to speak. I don't think more or less them being fans of his boxing style or boxing accomplishments. I think just more or less because he's white. So
the
that's
problem,
nothing wrong with that. Hold up, Shane. There's nothing wrong with that. But I actually think we're going to find out if all of this hyperbole and all of this social media barrage that he's going on is actually going to sell tickets.
well, this is the problem, Blunt, and I had the same thought as you. I said the pressure's on Fury and Frank to sell this fight, but then I spoke to Jeff, and Jeff said, and I have to agree, Dillian Whyte's promoting this fight because he's giving us more stuff to talk about than we would have had to. If he turned up to the press conference, all we would have spoke about was styles and XYZ. He's making us talk about mind games. He's making us talk about money, purse splits, everything. There's so much talking points. Right now, this dude's name's hotter than fish grease, and he ain't said a word. His name has never been hotter in boxing. Dillian Whyte has never been the most spoken about name in boxing. So I'm telling you, I don't think they have to worry about that. That fight's gonna sell purely and simply because of Dillian Whyte's action.
Them tickets go to sell tomorrow, and they start selling tomorrow, and there's gonna be a pretty good gauge of how it's gonna sell because, to my knowledge, Frank Warren doesn't take the approach of selling tickets like Eddie Hearn does. So these should be raw ticket sales. Am I correct, Shane?
Yeah.
Yeah, these should be raw ticket sales. These should be raw ticket sales. And for the people that don't know what I mean by raw ticket sales, like Frank Warren's not gonna buy it. There's no middleman. There's no middleman involved. Like you're getting it straight from the source. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna find out actually starting tomorrow, and we'll have a pretty good gauge by the end of the week. How many sales they're gonna actually get early. How many that place hold? What, 90,000?
90 something, over 90,000.
So let me ask you this, Shane. What number are you looking for you to be like, yo, this joint gonna sell out? Like first 2 days.
Well, the thing with UK fans is this is what you gotta understand. It will sell out even if it doesn't do early pre-sales. But a good gauge is okay. So it's the television station is on a big television station. It's like that's where we show football. So eventually, like people are gonna know about it, and the publicity is gonna be about it. I would say by the end of the week, maybe 40,000.
So 40,000. So maybe 40% of the ticket sales. 40% of the ticket sales within the first maybe 72 hours.
Yeah, 40,000. 40,000.
Okay.
I think go on.
Question. This ain't pay-per-view on y'all side?
Of course it is.
Yeah, it's pay-per-view.
So what's the split for that? Like, is that part of the original 80-20?
Nope. That's all Frank Warren. All Frank Warren's money.
So he now that's what he's hoping for. I don't think they're dependent on Gates. I think Gates
is him as well. Gate is him as well. All the Gate is Frank.
All the Gate is Frank.
I'm just saying though, but yeah, that's a cool little Gate. That's a nice little Gate. Damn near 100,000 people. That's a nice little Gate. If the Gate is good, no, that's my point. If the Gate is good, then I think he's looking at real nice numbers on the pay-per-view because obviously everybody can't get in. You feel me?
Oh, yeah,
for sure. Great point.
Bro, trust me, the 41 million that he invested, he's gonna get it back. I just don't know where he got it in the first place to invest it. But he's gonna get it back.
Listen,
hold up, Shane. That's a old school Don move.
I know.
Somewhere like, yo, it's there, but you don't physically have it in your hand.
Yeah. He done that with the Rumble in the Jungle. He done it with the Rumble in the Jungle.
Let me give a more raw term to what Blunt just said. He ass betted. That's what we call it in the hood. He ass betted. He pointed at Vlog's stack of papers. It was like, yeah, I got 100,000. Yeah, I got 100,000. And pointed at the stack in Vlog apartment and shit. Be like, yeah, I got it. Like, I mean, that's exactly what he did, man. Hoodie Man said, yeah, I just saw that. What the fuck? Just saw the video. Bolo in the building. Big shout out to Bolo. Said Fury is right. Dillian Whyte is waving the white flag by not showing up.
You're
no,
drunk.
he's not.
You're drunk.
No, he's not. Kangaroo Jack. He said, "Oh, he trying to join in." Okay.
As soon as you get to the comments, we'll put it in.
Let me ponder on that. Okay, he been in here.
Yeah, I've seen him before. I think
I've seen him before. Yeah. He said, White's biggest fight of his career, I believe. He's let his fans down by not showing up at a press conference.
Nah, bro, I'm telling you, that's incorrect.
Yeah, you just heard our twist to it, so think about it that way.
Bro, another thing is, bro, in the UK, everybody I've spoken to in the UK, bro, they all believe what Dillian Whyte's doing is genius. Because if you look at it, one, he don't like Frank Warren, he don't like Tyson Fury. For two, as Blunt said, if he goes into a press conference, there's a chance that he can let Tyson Fury get a mental edge over him. That's not going to happen. For three, this whole idea that Dillian Whyte's scared of Tyson Fury and he doesn't want to see him face to face. Bro, if you believe that, you might as well believe in Santa Claus. Dillian Whyte is far from scared of Tyson Fury.
Can I add this? Can I add this too? This probably sets a precedent where what happens the next time a Frank Warren wins a purse bid against Eddie Hearn. Does Eddie Hearn pull the same thing with that too?
Maybe.
So this could start a precedent as well. But Dillian Whyte got to come in there and show up and show out, man. He got to show up and show out. He said Hoodie said that fight is sold. Yeah,
let me to the statement of precedent is definitely got to be the right fighter.
Oh no,
correct. Yeah, correct. Now I can't just be with anybody.
Now I say that because I believe Dillian has a certain percentage of boxing fans that understand the nuances of this political battle that he's went through. You understand what I'm saying? So when you come out on the other side and you clean and you know what I mean, and you able to hold your head up high and yet not play the Joker game, because you know that's your boy, that's your Joker. You probably gonna lose that game, and that's not good for the actual fight in itself, as Shane spoke to, for the mental aspect. So he's doing himself a real service by not engaging in that. To be honest, he's already had fan base that supported the route that he went to, in my estimation.
Plus, Blunt, you also got to look at it like this: if it goes wrong, he's still getting 8 million. You see my point? Like,
yeah, I mean, as far as like, if we just want to look at it from a mental battle, like, okay, well, who's winning this mental thing, and who's got support?
Yeah,
I think Dillian Whyte has a quiet amount of support.
No, the reason why I brought up the 8 million is because you said it can't be anyone. Let's say the purse split was 800,000, and you're only getting 200,000. Let's keep it real. You can't be playing hardball with 200,000. 8 million is different. That's a different type of money.
Yeah, facts. Agreed. That's why I said it has to be the right fighter, right scenario.
Yeah, because 200,000 can very easily
be given to somebody else.
Or the wire transfer didn't work for some reason for a certain amount of time.
Literally.
You know what I mean?
They in there banging on us.
Kangaroo Jack wouldn't mind joining the panel. Let me get through this, and I'm ponder on that. 60K plus the first 2 days. If it do 60K plus first 2 days, man, our point has been proven for sure.
I was looking at to me a good number for 90 would be around 35. So close to what Shane said, 40, but 35 to me, because you figure you get a third of the joint sold in the first day. 24, 48 hours, you good down the last week or two of promotion.
Right, but there is no promotion. There is no promotion.
I mean, as far as like build up, that week of that build up sort of week.
I don't think he's gonna turn up to that neither, but come on.
Yeah, I agree
No.
with
But you get people that kind of get their money situated. Oh, my check. You know how it go. They living
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
same
know what
way
you
over
mean. I know
here,
what you mean.
week to
I know
week.
what you
So
mean. I know what
you
you
know what I
mean.
mean.
Hoodie Man said, I say it sells out in 5 days.
Yeah, that's mad.
That'll be crazy. Burt Wood vlog, who wins? Julio Cesar Martinez or Roman Chocolatito
That's a hard
Gonzalez?
one. That's a hard
That's
one. I
a
don't know.
hard one, bro.
That's
That's a
my
hard one.
dude. Oh man, I was gonna do a preview on this one tomorrow. You put
Big
me on
shout
the
out to
spot,
Burt
Mr.
Wood, though.
Wood.
I don't
Big,
I'm
know.
gonna just say
I don't know, bro.
it's a toss up for me currently. I'm leaning one way, and you know its name coincides with what I look like, so that's the way I'm leaning. But
I
it's
mean, I mean, I,
damn near
I
50
was
50.
I was leaning the other way, bro, but I'm torn.
Burt Wood,
Yeah,
I don't know,
I
bro.
ain't, I ain't, I ain't like just say I ain't put the lab coat on, so I'm not
Yeah,
done yet. That was
that's
loaded
definitely a
I
with
mean,
lab coat
Martinez looked
situation.
vulnerable in his last fight. I will say that.
Yeah. It's a definitely lab coat situation, like for sure.
If
Kangaroo Jack,
Martinez didn't have his last fight, I would have picked Martinez comfortably.
I
But
probably would. I probably would have too. Kangaroo Jack pay per view will do over 1 million. Keep that in mind. You agree with that, Shane?
yeah, I
I'm
mean,
playing
if
it. So
I mean,
count me in.
if we're just talking about UK, I mean, I personally think with the right promotion, it could have, and if it was on Sky, it would have done 2 million. But it's
Let me
on.
say this. Let me say this. This fight will actually help the people on that side with just kind of not concentrating on the war aspect, if you want to say it's a war. So I think a fight like this might do a lot of numbers just to kind of get people away from, the dramatic side of life to a certain extent.
I never thought about it from that angle.
Plus, it's Easter weekend as well, bro.
Yeah, it could happen. Could happen. Good point. He said, "Oh yeah, easily." I
It's me,
guess that means
baby.
1.15 pay per view sales.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I think anywhere between 1.1, anywhere between 1 million and 1.5 million. But if it was on Sky, I think between 1.5 and 2.
and two, the T Finney. So why White didn't show up? I heard because he wasn't getting paid. Andy getting the biggest payday in his career. He pulled out against Wallen and is getting the fight he wants now. I don't get it.
He's
Um,
going to turn up
When
to the
you
fight.
let
Doesn't
me
mean he
let
has
me
to
say
promote
this.
it.
Let me say this. When you go through the out of the ring battle he went through, along with continuing to fight to keep per se that footing and keep that ranking and all of that, bro, you feel like you just do more
Yeah.
from the organization, from your co-opponent, who, like they say, ain't a big bag in Europe. He's not somebody that's selling out arenas and Fury fighting, everybody finna show up. Like, so, like he said, Dillian Whyte is that guy. He sells over there. He knows that. I'm not doing nothing to help y'all make more money. That's just a smart move,
That's
bro.
the point, bro. Where I want everybody to answer this question. Anyone who comments next, answer this question. What does Dylan White benefit from promoting this fight? And where does he benefit from cutting his camp, flying abroad, and promoting this fight? Where
and
does he benefit?
and let me add on to that as well for the people that's going to answer that question. Mind you, WBC, they done jerked him for probably about a good 3+ years in regards to getting a title shot. That's number one. Number two, Dillian White did have them in court. Number three, WBC is the reason why it's an 80-20 split, because usually their splits is not 80-20, but because it's Dillian White and they done had problems with him, they made it 80-20. On Before you answer the question, also factor this in. He gets no back end money.
None.
He gets no back end money, absolutely none. He's getting 20% of $42 million. So yes, it's his biggest payday, but it's still only 20% of the pie. I don't care what size pie it is. If I feel like I deserve 30 to 35% of the pie, then I'm fighting for the percentage. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that Dillian White is really fighting against
And
with the silence.
also, you can clearly see that his lack of silence has drummed up attention for his profile, as well as it's also unsettled the Frank Warren and Tyson Fury stable. We've
Let me add
clearly
this
seen that.
too. And let me add this. He doesn't really have to sell himself for this fight. Why? Because we already know who he is. He's always been a great character representing UK boxing, bro. He's been doing side events as far as being outside of other events, supporting fighters that he's managing, things like that. So we know him as a boxing entity in that aspect. Oh, well, who is this guy, Dillian Whyte? We fucking know who Dillian Whyte is. How much you need to hear him talk against a guy that's going to try to talk you to death anyway?
Blunt, you know what? You know what's the biggest form of promotion in Jeff's words? If he knocks him out. If he knocks him out, it don't matter. It don't make a difference.
Facts.
It don't make a difference. Jeff said that. I didn't even come with it. If he knocks him out, it don't make a difference what he done for promotion, because all people are gonna remember is that knockout.
Yeah, and the thing is, the thing is very few promotions where the press conference is actually the highlight of the actual event or the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got very few, like maybe like David Hages, or like that press conference is actually bigger than the fight. You know what I mean? But you look at all the great fights, like they go ahead, bro.
I got a quick question. I know we talking promotion and all of that and all of this, you know, chicanery with the dude, Mr. Shenanigans, but I'm just a quick, question on how y'all feel about the style of this fight. We know Wilder's longer. Did his length help him get the knockdowns?
No.
Or was it? Okay, so then in my estimation, that tells me Dillian Whyte being a little bit a smarter boxing IQ than Deontay Wilder. No cap to D Wilder, but I think he can get those same knockdowns and probably put the foot on the gas more and get, just wipe him out. So
it depends on how it depends on how Fury fights. If Fury fights like how he fought Wilder, Fury's gonna struggle in that fight, because if that fight goes up close in the pocket, I'll tell you this now, there's no heavyweight beating Dillian Whyte. None. No heavyweight beating Dillian Whyte in the pocket, because this dude in the pocket is offensively as good as anyone else. And he has power and amazing survival skills. We've seen this dude in every way possible, up close in the pocket. If the fight's long and he's using foot skills and he's boxing on the back foot, Tyson Fury wins. But the question is, with this dude weighing almost 300 pounds, I saw him at the press conference today. The dude looked heavy, at the heaviest I've ever seen him. And he said he's coming in heavy. And he ain't fought off the back foot in a few fights. And in the last 3 fights, he's coming weighing over 270. I can't see him fighting off the back foot. So all of this is just an ingredient for what is already a very sizzling fight.
Yeah. The thing I like about this fight, and the reason why I think Dillian Whyte has a legit shot to win this fight. First of all, to answer your question, Blunt, I don't think the height or the length had anything to do with the knockdowns. I think he caught, Tyson Fury leaving out the back door with his hands down, and he was able to close the gap enough to make that happen. And that was really in the first fight. The second fight, he actually caught in close range. He caught in close range and got the knockdown.
He never caught him at all in the second fight.
I said the third fight. I meant to say the third fight. I'm sorry. I meant to say the third fight. The third fight, the shot that he caught him with, that got the knockdown, it was a close range. But the thing with Dillian Whyte is actually Dillian Whyte can get to the target. He can catch Tyson Fury leaving out the back door with his hands down and actually still be in the pocket. Because Dillian throws a lot of looping shots, and those looping shots are long though. And he's actually in a good position defensively as well, because Tyson Fury really don't throw a lot of uppercuts. So he can kind of get low and actually throw those overhands. And it'll be
like what done in the
that's what I want to say. Is there a shot in between that a guy like Tyson Fury, since we give him credit for having a high boxing IQ, can have to answer what Jeff just pointed out? I think he does. I think there's a little short inside backup chippy little shot that I'll take the overhand coming. I'll take the body shot, but I want to get this off as you trying to get close and start adding up or something like that. We spitballing.
The problem is Tyson Fury don't want to get in a bang bang with Dillian Whyte because Dillian Whyte hits harder than him. It's just that simple. Dillian Whyte hits significantly harder
we
than him.
just saying Tyson Fury.
No, I'm telling you, Dillian Whyte.
I mean,
I'm
that
telling
wasn't
you,
easy. That wasn't easy.
I'm telling you, Dillian Whyte hits harder than Tyson Fury, bro. They have common opponents, and
so all right, hold up. Dillian Whyte hits harder than Tyson Fury. Does Dillian Whyte hit harder than Deontay Wilder?
No, he doesn't. But he doesn't have to.
All right, now that tells me he may be in a mode to eat what we think is the power shot. May not land clean. You got a big tall tree that's kind of backing up. You may not hit it flush, but is he willing to allow you to try to get that off, be more accurate, and land something crisp inside, developing the short?
The problem with that is, with your example that you just used, which is Deontay Wilder, is Dillian Whyte doesn't land. No punch that Dillian Whyte has hits harder than Deontay Wilder's right hand. Does Dillian Whyte throw a better uppercut than Deontay Wilder? Yes. Does he throw a better body shot than Deontay Wilder? Yes. Does he throw a better left hook than Deontay Wilder? Yes. Does he throw a better jab than Deontay Wilder? Yes. So it's not about the overall power on a single. It's about the fact that any shot that any power shot that Dillian Whyte throws is going to have a chance of landing. Also, nobody in the division goes to the body as much as Dillian Whyte does. So the hand placement is going to be a massive thing, because if you're up close, and it's all down to how Tyson Fury fights, but if you're up close and you drop your hands, that looping shot that Jeff's talking about, when you try and leave the back door, if I go low, naturally your hands are going to drop. If I throw a dummy right hand to the body and a looping left hook, like what Derek Chisora threw in the first fight when he fought Tyson Fury, it's going to land because your hands will fall. So I'm just saying it depends on how Tyson Fury fights. But overall,
that's why I'm asking about the overhand. Now that's like a money shot that we anticipate. Like we look for a power shot from Whyte. It seems to be an overhand. Now, if you are a guy that anticipates, we saying that Fury's best option is not to go toe to toe, not to burn himself out, getting into a clinch and all of this sort of stuff. Stay on your bicycle, use your left, pop the jab, blah, blah, blah. But as the guy creeps in, is there a little chippy shot that he can develop? Does he have the skill to make it pay off on a guy that we know to be somewhat chinny? So I'm not a Fury fan. I'm not, but we talk boxing. So
I would say,
like, you know what I mean? There's no way for Tyson Fury to win. Or you know what I mean, or
I would say the southpaw. If you start in southpaw, the southpaw check right hand. That's what I would say. Where you just turn over that short check hand, because Dillian Whyte is gonna lean low to his left, which means Tyson Fury's right, because he wants to land looping shots. So as he leans low to land either a body shot with his left hand or overhand right, the shot that's there with the looping shots is that short southpaw right hand. Will we throw it? I don't know. I don't encourage Tyson Fury to go orthodox in this fight, because when he is orthodox, he does have the tendency to exchange, and that's what he shouldn't be doing.
From a strategy standpoint, as far as Dillian Whyte is concerned, me personally, first 4 rounds, I'm hitting nothing but the chest down. Even
low blows, bro. Even low blows.
I said chest down, so you know what I'm saying? So he need to operate from the chest down, man. And it's just sometimes when you fighting a guy like Fury, where his head movement is so good as a fighter, sometimes he's gonna give you the body. And sometimes you just, as a fighter, it's kind of like a basketball player when they hit a couple jump shots, you know what I mean, they get into a groove. Sometimes you just got to feel yourself landing a shot. You know what I'm saying? And I think Dillian Whyte, if he aims mainly for the body the first 2-3 rounds, like be strategic with it. Don't do like Deontay did and just, just be like, hey, I'm getting ready to throw a body shot right now. You know what I'm saying? I think Dillian Whyte can have some success because at the end of the day, he's gonna want to bring those overhands over the top. But he got to bring Tyson Fury's eyes down.
Right.
Like, he has to bring his eyes down because if Tyson Fury eyes is up, he's ducking all. He's avoiding all of those overhands. He's avoiding all of them overhands. Go ahead, Vlog. You on mute,
I'm
baby.
gonna use an example of this overhand situation. Now, we just saw a fight this past weekend with Antoine Russell, and the overhand eventually got him to fight. But in the midst of finding out whether that was his punch, Postal was actually catching him. And now Postal kind of sat down a little bit more and tried to advance forward on some of that good work. He probably could have kind of made Russell cross a line more often than he did in that fight. But it also showed that Russell's still learning in the game, and so is his corner, obviously, because if you look at the live, I was calling the overhand from like round 2, I do believe. I had already seen how Postal was fighting, but Postal was winning certain points of the fight when he was coming forward and kind of stepping to Gary Russell, taking away that punch. So Russell was working on all these other things, and I'm like, well, okay, it's going to come a time where he don't want to stand there in front of that power, and you got to find out the shot that's going to get him out of there. And
Right.
Later he did, but I don't think he got him out of there. So I don't think they should have did that to that OG like that. He don't deserve that knockout on his resume. These are things about boxing to me. These certain entities that call themselves the power that be, they should be able to fix that. That should just be a decision loss. Your boy did not knock this dude out. There was no way in the world that man couldn't have made them last 30 seconds. I think it's cap, and he deserved better. Especially if you want to look at it from a publicity situation. You going to do that to him and he got to go home to the war zone? Like, take that L with you, and you got knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. How y'all going to be? You feel me? Like, you going to be fair all the way up and down and support what's right, because I'm sure they didn't want him to get knocked out, but goddamn ref, you done seen enough boxing matches. You could tell this dude ain't about to get knocked out.
Well, yeah, I agree as far as the overhand situation. Like, it's gonna take Dillian Whyte a while before he starts landing that overhand. Like, don't expect for him to be landing that overhand within the first 3 rounds.
Where are we in the comments?
We are at hold on a second. We here. I'm gonna get to it in a second. We right there. Dillian Whyte need to set the table up for later on in the fight, because he's gonna have to close. He gonna have to close the. He gonna have to close the deal. He's gonna have to close the deal against Fury. Like, and I mean, really turn up late. 10, 11, 12. He gonna have to turn
He's
up.
gonna
late.
need multiple knockdowns in his fight or a knockout.
He gonna need at least one knockdown. At least one. He's not winning this fight. He's not winning this fight if he doesn't get a knockdown. He has to get a knockdown in this fight. Like, he has to. But I do like his chances from a strategy standpoint, though. I like his chances.
I don't know that that's true that he needs a knockdown. I would defer to him just staying aggressive, because I think after seeing the more accurate fighter, the more aggressive fighter in a particular fight not get the decision, they don't want to turn around and have this same fiasco on an even bigger stage, being the heavyweight division, heavyweight championship of the world.
That will have nothing to do with it, because the reason why I'll say in this fight, Frank Warren's already said, bro, there's going to be no British officials. There's no British officials for this fight.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You might be able to have a square boxing match where if Dillian Whyte really outfights him, so to speak, I don't know that he will outbox him, but he may
the reason why I say he's going to need a knockdown is because Tyson Fury does a very good job at winning rounds while throwing nothing.
Yeah,
he done it with 3 German judges in Germany when he fought Klitschko.
Yeah,
there was he was an away fighter. He threw hardly anything in that round, All he done was stick his tongue out and put his arms behind his back, and he got rounds for landing no punches.
Tyson Fury's up 2-0 right now. He's up 2-0 right now. And the thing about it, Dillian, and Vlog, you say this all the time, like you want to see the challenger take it. Like I've heard you say that several times. You want to see the challenger take it. It's kind of hard to take something from Tyson Fury if you're not going to get at least a knockdown. So basically, you asking him to win basically a boxing match.
And that's my point. But y'all just said it, that Tyson Fury has done things in the past, being able to win at what I think we're coming to a crossroads in boxing. Hopefully, I don't know that this is true. I'm just being
optimistic,
but yeah, optimistic. There's the word. That this will take place. That look, you got to recognize a good fight, call it a good fight, because we seen boxing do that. We just saw a title take place on a lower tier title situation where we had one of the longest reigning champs in boxing currently lose his belt. So I think boxing can get this right. So
who was that?
Just still stand on the outside when I say I don't know that Dillian Whyte needs a knockdown to win. I don't know that, because I know Tyson Fury can lose to a guy that's more aggressive. Why? Because he gets defensive, tries to tie up too much. A lot of this stuff that'll lose you points instead of gain you points.
I hate you. Just
yeah, I got you, bro. Hoodie Man said Chocolatito for the win. Yeah, I'm 50-50 on that, bro. Miles Williams in the building. Big shout out to you, bro. Can't wait to see Dillian's approach in this fight when the bell rings, since he was so critical of Wilder. That's a good point.
I don't think he's gonna get knocked out. I think he's gonna go 12.
I think he's gonna do well in the fight, man, for sure. I think Eddie told him not to show up out of embarrassment.
Nah, I just think he ain't getting. He's just not gonna get.
So. I don't think so.
He ain't gonna take advantage of him.
That's cap towards him, Miles, for not giving him credit for being his own man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, Miles. So you gotta kind of look at it like I said, what he went through outside the ring on the political side of the game, kind of to get here, bro. That's a long time. A lot of back and forth to these unnecessary court meetings and all of this nonsense, and he probably is fed up to get here. I'm not helping y'all make another dollar, and you got to really rock with him on that. Like, yo, I did my part. I fought to be represented, and he fought to be represented. You feel me? Because it's not like I said, he fought Povetkin, lost, went back and avenged that loss. That's respect due, bro. You ain't have to do that. You could have waited for the court situation to pan out.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think the main thing for me, go ahead, Shane.
No, finish, please.
I think the main thing for me is the back end money. Like once I found out he's not getting no back end money, I'm like, all right, I'm not helping y'all. Like I'm like, y'all already giving me 20%, and I'm not getting no back end money. Now, if they wanted to make this a smooth transition, they could have said, hey, listen, we can't budge off the 20% because that's what the WBC actually stated.
But if
we can either take this duffel bag money, or we can offer you a little something on the back end.
I got a great question. If you're a Dillian Whyte fan, what do you do?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Oh, that's a good question. That is an amazing question, bro. Oh, wow. That's a real good question. That's a real good question. Wait. We need a moment of silence. That is an amazing question. That's an amazing. Oh, wow.
You know what? Mic drop.
That's a mic drop question. Because you know what? He didn't say if you're a boxing fan. If you're a boxing fan, it's straightforward. You go buy the fight. But if you're a Dillian Whyte fan, do you help put money in a person's pocket that you don't really like, that ain't going into your fighter's pocket? Do you go and purchase this pay-per-view? Do you go and buy this ticket?
I can answer that.
Go ahead.
They're going to. That's a damn good question, because I didn't even know what angle you was going at with that. Good question though. You should probably actually post that actually. You know what I'm saying?
No, you can timestamp it. I'll clip it. What's the time? 119.
Like a minute 119.
Yeah, I got it. It's me, baby. What can I do?
Yeah, I think it's such a big fight they're gonna do either or. They're gonna get it on the pay-per-view or they're gonna buy the ticket. But I think they're not gonna look at it in that way. They're looking at it like if you're a Dillian Whyte fan, you believe he's gonna win the fight.
Yeah.
So you're gonna want to be watching when he wins the fight. And I think that's the approach that they're gonna take. So I think ultimately they're going to pay to see their guy win a fight.
It is interesting though.
I mean, you necessarily don't. This is the modern day of social media. As soon as it's over, goes up. It's like you there.
But it's UK. But UK operate a little. They support their people. They support their people. Like but
it is interesting because not only is that interesting
then,
because
all right, they support their people. Hold on, Shay, I'm gonna let you go. They support their people, right, Jeff? But they all so they know what they people them going through, what they people at. They know what we know, money wise, this, that, and the third, no back end, blah blah blah. So whoop-de-whoop, do they want to be part of that back end?
And Blunt, to support your point even more, majority of Dillian Whyte fans are Matchroom fans. This is on Frank Warren's show. That's another thing, bro. Are they gonna want to support another promoter that they don't support?
So I'll combat that. I'll combat y'all points with this question. Have you seen this done before, UK wise?
No.
That's
all right.
my point.
Well, hold up. That's what I'm saying. But we got to look at how UK fans traditionally are. What's their big sport? Soccer, football. So how do those fans react when certain teams come to town or whoop-de-whoop? Like, is it some 50-50 type arena? You know what I mean? That's why I said
no. But when certain, I'll go again with Jeff on this one. They're gonna support their team, bro.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna support. They're gonna support the. So I look at it more so, and it's still a great question. I think Dillian Whyte fans are gonna look at it and be like, despite me not liking Frank Warren, despite me not liking Tyson Fury, despite me not liking the network that is on, I'm a bigger Dillian Whyte fan than it supersedes all
if
that.
It was Wilder, I would agree. If it was Wilder and Wilder was only getting 20%, every Wilder fan would be like,
bro,
you know
listen. If it was Wilder, right? If it was Wilder, when it comes down to it, they would have to make a deal with him on the back end.
Yeah,
they would have to make a deal with him on the back end. Because imagine that fight, right, Vlog? If that fight's in the UK, right? Tyson Fury and Dillian and Deontay Wilder in the UK, right? Same scenario, 90,000 Wembley. And Deontay Wilder doesn't show up to the press conference.
And he only gets 20% on the back end.
And he's only getting 20%, no back end money, no nothing. Wilder is so big. Now I know Dillian Whyte big.
No,
Wilder's something different.
Whyte doesn't have a cult following.
He don't have a cult following. He don't have a cult following. They could not get away. Like Wilder would be able to get away with this and come up with a bigger bag.
No, the reason why is because Wilder could literally make a call to one of his channels that he does and say, listen, these guys ain't paying me right. Every single Wilder channel won't even cover this fight. They won't even mention this fight. They won't do no promotion, no nothing. They ain't paying a dime or a dollar.
No, not at all. Now, it makes the question fascinating. I think Dillian Whyte fans are gonna pay. They're gonna show up. Like they're gonna want to see their guy win. You know what I mean? And it's never happened before where like UK fan is just going cold turkey. Like they will support somebody that's 5-20 if that's their guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think they're gonna support him. But no, I mean, this is definitely a good question for sure. Burt Wood, it helps Whyte if he wins. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Hoodie Man,
controversy. The promotion, if you promote,
yeah. But like I said, I'm like the biggest thing he can do is knock Fury the fuck out. That's the biggest promotion he can add. Go ahead, Vlog. You on mute, baby. You on mute.
I was tripping. I was tripping.
Okay. Hoodie Man, he said controversy sells fights, unorthodox sells fights. This fight is sold. Only thing left to do is show up and shell out. I think, bro. I think I'm not gonna lie, man. I think it does 20 to 30K within 24 hours.
I mean, I'm looking forward to see what shape Dillian Whyte's in, though.
Who knows? We ain't gonna see him. We're not gonna
You're
see
gonna
him.
see him on the scale,
You gonna see him on the scale, and he gonna leave.
literally.
He
He ain't
gonna
gonna
he's
do
gonna
the
leave.
interview.
He's not
But
gonna
you
go
know what I
interview
found
nothing.
funny about Dylan White? You know, he came on Twitter to say robbery and then left Twitter again
Yeah, he know what he
for
doing.
Jack Catterall and Josh Taylor.
Yeah,
He
he know what he
tweeted
doing.
robbery.
Yeah, he
But
know
that's
what he doing. He know what he doing. T. Finney, he said, "Oh, okay, I understand." He used to call out Wilder. Any idea why that fight never happened? It was no title. It was no title. Basically, the WBC title. The WBC is the reason. Like point blank, period. Like
but
WBC is the reason.
what I would say, if I'm as a neutral fan, and we've been supporting Dylan White this whole show, I will say this: Dylan White's a fool for not taking that Pulev fight. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm on record with that. Period. And Wayne ain't gonna hash into that, but yeah, his fortunes would be completely different if he would have took the Pulev fight. Burtwood Shane, I heard Whyte didn't show up because he got lost.
Now he's
That's
still
funny.
in Portugal, bro.
That's funny. Edwin Castillo, salute to G5 Jeff TV. What it do? What it do? Edwin Castillo, what it do? What's going on, brother? He said, I think Dillian not getting pay-per-view percentage and not giving Tyson what he mainly does to win fights and not get the mind games where Fury usually seals the win.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. Boxing with Sean, what's going on, good brother? He said Roman all day.
No?
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a tough fight, man. It's a tough fight.
Yeah, Edwin Castillo. I remember Fury talked in the past about Dillian not getting a fair shot at the belt, but now tried so hard to get him to step aside. Is it fear? He's mad, Dillian, or his intent was one huge and final payday and undisputed fight to end his career?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely no fear. He's not. Neither dude are afraid of one another. I just feel like the undisputed fight was bigger money, but the undisputed fight is only bigger money with AJ. It's not bigger money with Usyk. You know.
Shit, man, that might be a mega fight. Do Ukrainian people hold off Russia, and then he go get undisputed, man? They gonna they gonna carve his face in the side of a mountain over that motherfucker. I'm telling you, bro. That shit's crazy.
Edwin said not a fan of either, but maybe it depends on how much they charge here in the States. I'll find that out, bro, because I don't know what that situation is gonna be like. Because I don't is that an ESPN Plus fight?
Yeah. It's no pay-per-view.
So it's not pay-per-view. It's not pay-per-view here.
ESPN pay-per-view.
Oh, ESPN pay-per-view. Yeah. So
yeah, they do got a pay-per-view.
ESPN pay-per-view, no doubt. Man, it's any talk on the undercard?
No talk on the undercard.
Shit. Dillian Whyte ain't gonna offer none of his fighters for that card.
No.
You know what I mean?
But hey, Fury gonna have all his family members on the undercard. Pops coming out of retirement.
You know what would have been a good undercard? You know what would have been a good fight on the undercard? Jared Anderson versus Alan Babbage.
Stop.
Babbage gets annihilated, bro.
That would have been, I mean, entertaining. It would have been.
Oh, yeah.
No, Jared Anderson versus the boy Worley who just fought.
That's a good fight.
Can he deal with that raw power? We need to see him against some real raw power.
That's a good fight. That's a good fight. I actually, yeah, I'm gonna put the stamp on that fight. I would like to see that. I would like to see that.
And then you got who else is there? There's not much people. There's not much people in.
Yeah, you want to roll
stable.
Yeah, that's a good fight, man. Like that's a good fight. It's gonna be interesting to see how he rounds the card out because usually Frank Warren's not really known
for undercards.
Really spice up the undercard, especially pumped out 42 million.
Is your boy still with Eddie Hearn, the boy Kelly?
Josh Kelly, no, he's in Sky.
Nah, he was Sky.
So they can't do nothing with him.
Nah. Big shout out to the plug too, man. I didn't know this. Y'all probably knew this, but Sandor Martin has signed with Matchroom. Big shout out to
well, look at that. You know why that's funny, Jeff? Because Sandor Martin came in as an opponent and you got an extension on him, but you couldn't do that for Cambosis. Isn't
Exactly.
that?
Yeah,
I mean,
ain't that grand.
now that makes it even worse for Eddie Hearn because you know better.
But the thing is though, I think I have it documented that Eddie Hearn's been watching this podcast for the past couple of months. But he ain't been getting game long enough from us. If you've been getting game, if you've been listening to us maybe over the past year or so, you would have had Cambosis locked up and a couple other people locked up too.
I'm looking forward to see what happens with Canelo versus Bivol. That's what I'm looking forward to.
All right, now, can we talk about that, man? I tapped into that, man. Now, don't he got to drop them straps?
No.
Mandatory hasn't been called yet.
Mandatory hasn't been called yet. Mandatory hasn't been called yet. He just won them. So, hold on, let me get to these last two real quick. Actually, boxing with Sean. He said, "You guys got some great chemistry. Keep up the good work." Big shout out to Boxing with Sean. I be checking Boxing with Sean. He comes on very, very, very early in the morning. Where is he at? Is he in the Philippines? He's somewhere. Boxing with Sean. Can you let us know where you're from? Because I know he's from another country. Like he lives in another country. But I catch him a lot of times like early in the morning. Big shout out to Boxing with Sean, man, for sure. Yeah, let's get you want to get into this you want to get into the Canelo thing, vlog?
I mean, I don't know they let you go play around doing things like that. So
can I give you a little fact real quick?
Yeah. Here to learn, baby. I ain't never too old to learn, nigga.
When just to give you a little insight, Floyd beat Cotto at 154. He won the title with 154. Floyd had a mandatory for 2.5 years, and he was still allowed to hold the belt, and he was fighting at 147. So even if they do allow this to happen, it's not unprecedented.
I mean, I know the WBC mandatory is getting sorted out with Benavidez. The WBO is Zach Parker and Andrade, that situation. WBA, I don't know. Who's the mandatory for WBA? I don't even know. WBA and IBF, I'm a little bit confused. I don't know.
So basically, he said through his own mouth, we won't see him for the rest of this year at 168.
You talking about for Canelo? Yeah, he'll fight Triple G at 168.
No, he said out his own mouth, those guys won't see me. Like he was trying to say they need to fight each other.
That was Benavidez and Charlo and Andre.
So where in what contract does Triple G guarantee that he takes that fight? He hasn't spoken on saying that he's that second guy.
Trust me, he's taking the fight. But the thing is though, here's the thing. Let me throw this out here, fellas. Who says he beats Murata?
I was about to say that, bro. I don't think he's gonna beat Murata. I'll be honest. I'll keep it 100. The only way he beats Murata is if it goes to decision.
Check it though. Check it. I got another question. Yes, it's been rescheduled. They don't have a date yet. It's been rescheduled. Let me throw this at you. Murata wins that fight. If that's the second fight on the deal, number one, does the zone sign off on it? Number two, does Canelo get credit for it?
Yeah, Murata nice. That's a big
no. But it's not Murata though. It's Golovkin. It's not Murata.
No.
They ain't paying that money.
No, you didn't hear my question. You didn't hear my question. I said if Murata beats Golovkin,
they will still make the Golovkin fight. They'll still make the Golovkin fight.
No, it said no. This is the thing, Shane. They said he gets the Canelo fight pending that he beats Murata. If he doesn't beat Murata, he doesn't get the fight. They already announced it.
Well, then maybe it won't be Murata. They might give it to somebody else. But they ain't putting that much money up for Murata, bro. They ain't putting that money up for Murata.
So who's the replacement? That's my question.
I'm hoping Andrade, but this is all hype.
He might take another fight at 175.
But what does that do with the deal, though?
I got an idea, Jeff. With Joe Smith Jr. and Beterbiev unifying, if he fights Bivol, they're one fight away from undisputed.
Can I know that's your angle because you love undisputed at the end of the road, but you said that, but then kind of frowned on the Murata thing. Murata got a whole country behind him.
That's a
Joe
fact.
Smith ain't selling no tickets, and neither is Beterbiev. So
That's
I'm like,
that's my problem with that fight with Al Sin, Beterbiev, or Joe Smith.
You mean Bob? You mean Bob?
Bob, yeah. I mean, Bob. Well, Bob sending either one over there. Or would Bob want some sort of 50-50
bro?
Oh, he definitely sent it. He would send Bud over there if he can get away. If he could have got away with it, he would have sent Bud over there. Boxing was showing.
I think he thinks Beterbiev will beat Canelo. I think he thinks especially if Beterbiev knocks out Joe Smith.
That's a big fight to be able to not stream on ESPN Plus. That would be a big.
No, they'll cut a deal. They'll cut a deal. It'll be on ESPN. They'll cut a deal for that.
You think they'll have double streaming for a fight like that, bro?
They'll make it happen. They'll definitely make it happen. Boxing with Sean said Taiwan. That's where he lives. He lives in Taiwan. Big shout out to Boxing with Sean. Edwin Castillo, if it get the Fury that he couldn't play his mind game, I could see Fury doing something silly like coming out his dad as Bowser and rest him and brothers as Bowser children. Like, I need funny. Bro, I don't know where you was going with that one, bro. You lost me. With what Breeders did over the fight weekend.
Oh, he came out of Super Mario.
Oh, that's what he's talking about. Yeah, he's talking about Super Mario. Okay, got you. My God, man. My God, we all from in the building, man. What's going on, brother? Can you guys please make a vid for the Chocolatito fight?
Blunt is doing that tomorrow.
Yeah, actually, Blunt doing that tomorrow. I'll probably follow up and do a little something. But a lot of these, bro. I gotta get my block on. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Sorry, I'll be quick on the trigger, boy. I'm playing no games.
These bucks are
getting somebody a wrench in that motherfucker.
Bro, I gave over 15 people wrenches. Who you guys got? Bro, I don't know, bro. I gotta throw the lab coat on for this one.
I'm still going with my original.
With me tomorrow, bro.
Martin, I'm going with Julio Cesar Martinez.
Martinez is minus 140. That's tough, bro. What's Chocolatito? He's plus what? He gotta be plus what? 125 or something? Plus 125, 130. That's basically 50-50. Yeah, that's basically a
Pedraza and Ramirez is fighting this weekend.
What's Friday. The odds on that, bro? What's the odds on that one? Because I like Pedraza.
I ain't look them up. I was gonna tap into all of that because I was gonna double up on both the main events for Friday and Saturday. Try to do some lives too, man. I don't know what Shane doing, what y'all doing, man. We going in for Pedraza Martinez.
Is that Friday? Pedraza.
That's Friday.
That's Friday.
That's Friday.
I have off Friday, so we can definitely roll. We can roll.
Shane, you gonna be shuffling in the streets?
Hopefully.
Oh, so you ain't going in with us on that Pedraza fight?
Nah. If I can, then definitely. Wait, that's gonna be Saturday morning for me. Yeah, that should be cool.
That's Saturday morning. So you wanna set up on yours vlog for Friday? We could do that.
Bro, you're on me.
Oh yeah, it ain't Friday morning. My dad was coming in.
Friday
noise and shit.
So we setting up on yours for Friday.
Yeah, we can do that. These don't matter.
No, all right. Let's Shane. Let's set up. Let's go live on his drawing for the Pedraza fight Friday. We can set that up. But we can do a little promo for that as well because you haven't been on live yet and actually done like a promo. You know,
man, I done bet all the lives I do, I end up doing by myself because they end up like
they be late as hella late. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, this will be the first time you can actually go live, and we will all be there, but you can actually properly promote it. We kind of throw it together and just go in. Yeah, like so. Let's try to put a little promo behind this one. And
you know me, I'll pop up at your party.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? So we all from said nah, said minus 140. He said Chocolatito is minus 140. It's
So
interesting. He
what's
said I hate Shane.
what did I do? What did I do?
Chocolatito, I don't know what you did. Uh no, he's Chocolatito's favorite.
Now I'm picking Martinez to win it.
I'm picking Martinez. I think he like Matt like Chocolatito. I know he like Chocolatito. Um yeah, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how the Triple G thing play out for sure. Because I don't think in Murata that's not an easy fight. Um, and as far as I'm concerned, Triple G has been.
Who say he beat Bivol? So if he lose to Bivol, then he's still pound for pound. He's still the big dog on the block. You know what I'm saying?
A vlog, man. It's crazy because I actually sat and thought about this yesterday. The thing with Bivol, like I'm so intrigued by this fight. Like this fight can be so boring. Like I might fall asleep during this fight. There's a potential I could fall asleep on a Canelo Bivol fight because the fight can be that technical. But if anybody's gonna get outside of the box offensively, it's gonna be Canelo. If anybody's gonna get outside of the box defensively, it's gonna be Canelo. So it's gonna be up to Canelo to actually make the fight. Like Canelo could actually pull a Tyson Fury and win the majority of this fight, not doing nothing. Because like Bivol was so effective. A vlog, I compared Bivol to Tim Duncan. All fundamentals, no flash, no nothing, but he's very effective. You know what I'm saying? But when you face a flashy dude like Canelo, when he got like I said, he down 3-0 right now. Right now.
Bro, my thing is y'all keep talking about where did you see that against Plant?
What about it?
Where did you this flash and this ability to do these different things inside the ring? We judge you based on the product.
You don't have to be though. He's gonna get it because they just signed $100 million.
Well, he was winning that fight on the cards though.
Yeah, Plant's not a good fighter though, so it don't bother me.
He was.
If you that good and Plant not a good fighter, Plant don't have no power. It shouldn't have took 10 goddamn rounds.
You know what? I disagree with that. The hardest dude to knock out is the dude that's not trying to get knocked out. Yeah, the dude is not coming to win. That's the hardest dude to knock out. That's the hardest dude.
That dude didn't come to win. That dude came to get a paycheck.
Yes, I actually completely disagree with that. That's the hardest dude. I'm actually impressed that he got him up out of there.
He didn't get him out of there, man. That man tripped over his own feet, fell. He was tired. He done jogged out his shoes.
Regardless, he got him up out of there.
Okay.
He got him up out of there.
I agree with Plant.
I'm not going to argue, y'all Canelo.
Who said he beat
Canelo the Great?
Watch this mic drop, yo. If Tegu got the victory like that against Ryan, are we hearing the same thing from you, vlog?
I've been saying the same thing.
You ain't hear what I said. You ain't hear my question. I said, if Tegu got Ryan Garcia up out of there the same way Canelo got Plant up out of there, am I hearing the same thing from you?
No, because...
Of course not. Of course not, because that's your guy. Of course not.
No, it's not the same, bro. Ryan got some pop, so at some point in time, you're going to have to go through some rough waters. There was none of that. He just waited till this dude fell over, and he threw a punch. So, I mean, that's how I saw it. I could be blind. I might have been smoking too. So
you definitely was smoking the finest trees. I figured. Matt said you picked against Chocolatito. That's his guy. That's his guy for sure. Edwin said, I think if Triple G doesn't win, there would have to be a replacement, maybe Murata. But what other big names can DAZN use? Andreed or Magia? DAZN having buyer remorse had Triple G in the contract to begin. Can I ask y'all? Actually, Edwin, this question actually is in conjunction with what you just stated. Do you think that's the reason why DAZN threw a third fight in the mix, just in case Triple G loses?
Nah,
you don't think so?
I think the zone want as much deals with Canelo as possible.
Do you think? But do you think they have a backup plan outside of Triple G though? And if so, who? You know what? That's a good. Hold on. We know anybody in the zone?
No.
I need to ask somebody
I'm
that.
gonna say this to y'all. I think the zone is depending on Japan to keep their border situation tight, and that fight to actually be put off, and him get and stay in that slots without an opportunity at a belt at 168. And it'd be a smart move. I mean, I'm sure at this stage in his career, it'd be easy to put that weight on. I'm sure he cutting that to get the 160 anyway. So great opportunity, and plus there's some revenge in it. So I think he slotted and he good in that. This hypothetical scenario, Japan
Dude,
is
that
doing.
might jump off. I'm mad tired.
Go ahead. We about to jump off in a minute anyway. Cool.
Yeah, because I gotta get ready to go anyway. Matter of fact, I do gotta go. Shit.
Go ahead. I'll wrap it up, bro. I'll wrap it up.
Yeah. I appreciate everybody in the chat tapping in with us. It's all love. I'm gone.
Yup. That was VP Shane and Boxing First Vlog. Tapping in as usual, man. Big shout out to everybody that was in this joint. We're gonna close this thing out, man. Big shout out to everybody. Dillian Whyte doing what he's doing right now, man. He's actually promoting the fight without saying a word. You know, that's huge. You know what I'm saying? So we will be back tomorrow. We're gonna tap into, whatever we're gonna tap into, we'll figure it out. Interview with Tree James, it will be out tomorrow. Tree James, Coach Pepe Pena, will be out tomorrow, editing that thing. So that's gonna be out. I'm gonna put some clips up of it as well. So we're gonna be, kind of interview dropping. I ain't done one in a while. So big shout out to Big Tree, Tristan James, and Coach Pepe Pena. Big shout out to them. Edwin Castillo vlog, big homie. I'm sad you might need to get a vision check. Fam, Canelo was unbelievably gotten better head movement, ring IQ, aggression, cut the ring off, and the way he systematically breaks down fighters. Canelo doesn't get enough credit for the ring IQ. Very good ring IQ with Canelo for sure. And the thing is, with Caleb Plant, he was patient. He was patient and believed that he was going to come through late. And that's exactly what happened. I think Caleb Plant just ain't throw no mustard on his shots. He didn't really do anything to really stand out, really. Question, Lawrence Okolie versus Jared Anderson, who wins? Well, Okolie's at cruiserweight, so he would have to go up to heavyweight. I think Jared Anderson wins that fight just because he's the bigger dude, natural heavyweight. It's a solid fight, though. Solid fight. Any step-up fight for Jared Anderson, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's an interesting matchup, though, Bert. If Okolie does go up to heavyweight, that'd be definitely a good fight. But we can close it out right there, man. Go follow VP Shane. Hold on, we got one more. The way he used his left to stifle Plant's Philly roll. So, Edwin, that's something actually that's basic that they teach you. Now, whether you apply that in a fight is something completely different. So, basically, Plant was countering Canelo early in the fight with the pot shot right hand. So, a lot of times he was shoulder rolling and then he was pot shot with the right hand, but it was nothing on the pot shot. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of hard to see sometimes because of the angle that they were on. So, a lot of times Caleb Plant was going like this, and then he'll pot shot with the right hand and bring it right back. But he wasn't following up with nothing. He wasn't doing anything else. So that one pot shot wasn't really getting in the rounds or getting Canelo's attention, really, because he didn't put anything on it. I like the strategy. It's just he didn't put nothing on the shots to get Canelo's respect. And that was the problem at the end of the day. So I think but what Canelo was doing, when Canelo was throwing the jab, like when a guy's trying to pot shot you like that, when you throw the jab and you leave it out there to kind of control the return fire. So when he's throwing the jab, instead of throwing the jab and then you bring it right back, a lot of times you get countered over the top. So if you put the jab out there, if you throw a double or triple jab, you do two things. You can throw a double or triple jab so you can go bow, bow, bow. And it's harder for a guy to counter over the top with a pot shot. If you throw 2-3 jabs at a time, you go pop, pop, pop. But if you throw a lazy jab and you just go like this and you bring it back, any good fighter is going to time that. I mean, that's James Toney's whole career. That's initiated all his offense. A guy throw a lazy jab, he's coming right over the top with the right hand. Like what Canelo did is he didn't want to throw multiple jabs. So what he did is he would throw his one jab and he would keep his hand out there to control what Caleb Plant was bringing back. You know what I'm saying? Which is smart. It's boxing 101. It's boxing 101 at the end of the day. And that's how you control somebody that likes the pot shot and things like that. So Canelo was actually smart in doing that. And it was actually harder for him to do it because he's a shorter fighter. You know what I'm saying? So Canelo has really good ring IQ. He adjusts during fights and he's patient. He's patient. I mean, you could be patient when you know the judges are going to see things your way, but you could be patient, but Canelo's a real good fighter, man. Real good fighter, man. But I'm real curious to see what he does against Bivol because, like I said, there's no blueprint on Bivol. There's no blueprint on Bivol, and it's hard enough to follow a blueprint. Is even harder to create one. It's harder to create a blueprint. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be curious to see what happens with Canelo going forward. But we're going to close it out there, man. Follow Shane at I_am Shane, the number 1 on Instagram, exclusively on Instagram. Boxing First Vlog, he all over the place, man. Twitter, Instagram. Follow him. Go follow his YouTube channel, Boxing First Vlog. Just hit 1,000 subs. Congrats to him. We're gonna be on his channel for the Pedraza fight this Friday. So definitely looking forward to that. And I'm all over the place, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, G5JeffTV, the website, G5JeffTV.com. Got fights up on there. Join the Prediction Fantasy League. The league is almost over. It's going to be over in the next 2 weeks or so, 2.5 weeks. So, but you can get into the league now and get yourself acclimated to how the league works. And we're going to start season 3 pretty much at the end of the month. The winner of this league is going to get $550 in the championship belt for the winner of the league. And then we're going to have announcements for season 3. Season 3 is going to be completely different. Completely different. The prizes, there's going to be more than one winner for season 3. So, and we got some other special things going on with season 3. So definitely, Edwin Castillo said, salute Jeff, be safe. Hey man, appreciate you, brother. You family for sure. He said, I never was able to get in there last time it was loading. I'm not sure why. Try it now. Try it now. Everything should be good. It might have been some tech issues or whatever. But listen, man, we're gonna be back tomorrow. Episode 66 of the Goodfellas podcast. Big shout out to Tree James, Coach Pepe Pena. That interview will be coming out tomorrow, for sure. And on behalf of the staff, we're gonna see y'all tomorrow. Let me get my man Sean in here. Said Martinez is so open with his head on the line all the time. Boxing with Sean, you 100% right. Martinez is I call him 1230s. 1230s, straight up and down, man. Yeah, I mean, hand on the 12, hand on the 6, man, straight up and down. That head be right in the middle. So I think Chocolatito gonna have really good success in this fight. There's a reason why he's favored. I mean, we just found out he's minus, I think, 140 or something favorite, Chocolatito. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm leaning towards Chocolatito. I'm interested to see what Martinez does, though, in this fight. Edwin, I'll definitely try. Yeah, try it. It should be working now. But Sean, that's a good point, man. That's for a smaller fighter, smaller weight class. Those guys that keep their head on the line, those are the ones that usually get clipped. So it's amazing that he's had so much success in his career, with his head being on the line like that. It's credit to him. But it's a flaw. Like it's a serious flaw, and that's the last thing that, that's the last flaw you should have against a Chocolatito if Chocolatito's on this game, man, he might mess around, get a stoppage. He might mess around, get a stoppage because Chocolatito's, he should get a lot of his. He should look good offensively in this fight. He should look good offensively in this fight, man. I firmly believe that. And it's going to be up to Martinez to make the adjustments to win this fight. Chocolatito can go into this fight and fight his fight and win it. I don't know if Martinez can come in and fight his fight and beat Chocolatito, and I think that's the difference between the two. But boxing with Sean, great point. Hey, we actually would like to link up with you, man. Like, have you on the show. I know you in Taiwan. I don't know the time difference, but we would love to have you on, man. Like, that'd be like super dope, man. Like, and if you can hit me up, man, let me know what times is good for you if you're interested. Like, we would love to have you on, bro. Like, I've been watching you for a while. You know what I'm saying? So big fan of what you do. You call it like you see it. You know what I'm saying? So we would love to make that happen, man. I'll definitely reach out to you, on social media, man. Try to line something up, man. I think boxing was shown on the G5 Jeff TV show. I think that'll definitely pop off, man. So let me know what you think about that for sure, man. But on behalf of the staff, man, we will be back tomorrow with episode 66. I don't know what we're gonna be talking about, but we're gonna figure it out at the end of the day. So on behalf of the staff, we'll see y'all tomorrow.